A young mother, a beloved firefighter, and innocent bystander, just some of the victims in a violent string of shootings that have shaken Birmingham. At the center of it all, Damian McDaniel, accused in connection to 14 homicides. The state has filed to seek the death penalty. McDaniel's attorney maintains his innocence.
The police come get you for robberies and everything else. Don't y'all think they would have came and got me? Don't y'all think they would have got these phones and seen my location and seen where I was?
Someone was arguing with the girl, you trying to throw it on somebody else.
Sometimes we got to stop painting fairy tales and talk about these red flags, because this 21-year-old clapped back hard when someone called her a setup queen on Facebook Live. 30 minutes later, bullets. Plot twist. The man police eventually arrested for her murder is allegedly Birmingham's most prolific serial killer, with 18 murder charges against him currently. At least, that's what they've been able to tie him to so far. But here's where this story gets messy, y'all. From what the streets are saying, Mia herself was quite far from a saint. The big question is, how does someone at just 21 have multiple run-ins with the law, drugs, near-death experiences, and street rumors calling you a trap queen? Now, don't get me wrong. Nobody deserves to lose their life over this mess, especially not when they got their whole future ahead of them. And definitely not at the hands of someone who's allegedly been hunting people like it's a hobby. So Mia, baby girl, help us understand. At what point did everything start going sideways? What version of Mia is the real Mia? The nail tech with dreams, or the young woman riding shotgun to drug deals? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out today. And honey, we came with receipts, straight from Mia's own mouth. Because if we're gonna learn from this tragedy, we need the whole truth, not just the pretty parts. You're on TikTok Crimes. We cover what happens when social media fame turns fatal. TikTok stars, Instagram couples, Facebook influencers. When their posts become crime scenes, we break down exactly what went wrong. These aren't just viral stories. These are real murders, real victims. Subscribe right now if you want the truth behind the trending hashtags. Because by the time something goes viral, somebody's usually already dead. Here's what happened. Meet Mia Shardell Nixon, 21 years old, Birmingham, Alabama. On the surface, she was everything you'd want in a young woman. Talented nail technician, certified stylist, dreams of opening her own salon. Her Instagram was full of gorgeous selfies, her work showcasing those bomb nail sets that had girls lining up to book appointments.
Come with me on my first travel trip as a nail tech. Okay, so right here, I'm just getting everything together, packing up all my stuff in my little bag or whatever. Yeah, that's all the stuff I had to bring. So yeah, we're getting designs together. All the charms and stuff. Had to pack all my stuff up for that specific set. Yeah, I was putting all the other charms that I wanted in a little travel case thing. Here I am, all packed up, ready to go. Yeah, boom. So here go Ari and Tamia. She was getting her hair done too because it was her birthday. So she had the real pamper experience. So yeah, here I go. Just applying the acrylic. Apply.
She had that infectious smile. You know, the kind that lights up a room. And a personality that just drew people in. But yo, social media is a hell of a thing, isn't it? Because while Mia was posting about her nail artistry and her recovery journey, there was a whole other side to her story that most people didn't see. Or maybe they did see it, but nobody wanted to talk about it out loud. See, by the time Mia turned 21, she'd already been through more trauma than most people experience in a lifetime. She'd been shot in the head, lost hearing in one ear, vision in one eye, and had to relearn basic things like walking and talking. Most of us would have taken that as a sign to maybe, I don't know, stay out of dangerous situations. But not our girl Mia. Now, most of the stories you'll hear about Mia paint that first shooting as some random act of violence. Wrong place, wrong time, innocent victim type situation. But here's what they didn't tell you. Mia herself posted a whole video explaining exactly what happened that night. And honey, when you hear it straight from her mouth...
Okay, this is story time about how I got shot or whatever. So I was talking to this boy. We was talking for like a couple months or whatever. So he used to always be in my car, like ride around in my car. We used to always be together, riding around, stuff like that. So, this day, he told me to follow this dude so he can buy some pills. So we followed the dude so he could buy the pills, so we did nothing about the pills. It's me, him, and his homeboy in the car.
Hold up. Did y'all catch that? Follow this dude so he can buy pills. This wasn't some random drive-by. This wasn't wrong place or wrong time. This was a drug deal, and Mia was right there in the middle of it.
In the car. So, as soon as we get to the red light, we was at the red light, all we had to do was just turn around and boom, you at the red light from where we was. So we get to the red light. He trying to put the location in my phone so we can go to where we was finna go. So it was shooting, but I didn't think that they was shooting at us, because while they were shooting, they were driving up. So when they were far back, it just sounded like it was somewhere else. So when the bullets started coming through the car, that's when when the bullets started coming through the car, I hit the gas, but one of the bullets hit me. It went from the back of my head, through my ear, and across my face. So that, I heard a loud pop, and then, the ringing that you hear in your ear, that's what I heard. My ear just started ringing real loud, and I just blacked out. So once I blacked out, I crashed into a tree. So when I hit the tree, I went like this, that's what woke, kind of can't let me come back to country. So I woke up, and instantly I just opened the door, and then his homeboy that was in the back seat, he jumped out, and I got out, but I instantly fell to the ground. And he was like, "Mia, get up," and I couldn't get up. I don't know how long I was on the ground. I just was unconscious. So that's when I just hop up. So when I hop up, I open the back door, and I laid in the back seat for 2 seconds, but then I remembered that he was in my front seat. So I jump up, and I'm looking for my phone. I'm just looking for my phone. So I find his phone, and I'm screaming his name. I'm like, I can't say his name, but I'm just screaming his name. I'm like, "What's your password? What's your password? I got a call the police." I'm like, "What's your password? What's your password?" Once, I kept calling him, and I was trying to just make sure that we all was okay. So that's when I'm just screaming his name. I knew once he wasn't answering me, he was gone. So the people from across the street, it was a store across the street, the people from across the street, they come over. So I'm screaming our names. I'm just trying to let them know who he was. I'm just screaming our names. I'm like, "Please just call my mama. Please, just call mama." And
the man she'd been talking to for 12 months. The one she was helping with this drug transaction. He didn't make it out of that car, y'all. Mia was the only survivor. And listen, I'm not saying she deserved what happened to her. Absolutely not. But we can't just ignore what she's telling us here. After surviving that shooting in December 2022, Mia documented her entire recovery on social media. And I'll give it to her, watching someone fight their way back from that kind of trauma. It's inspiring. She showed us the reality of living with bullet fragments still in her head, the never-ending headaches, the struggle of being deaf in one ear and blind in one eye, and in one. She posted about how grateful she was to be alive, how God must have saved her for a reason, how she was determined to turn her life around and focus on her dreams. And for a while there, it really looked like she was doing exactly that. But here's what's been bothering me, and I know some of y'all are thinking the same thing. in October 2023, less than a year after surviving that shooting, Mia got arrested on drug trafficking charges. Drug trafficking. And somehow, someway, she posted a $40,000 bond. That's almost what a first-year teacher makes in Alabama, y'all. Now, where does a 21-year-old nail technician get $40,000? And I'm not being funny. I'm genuinely asking. Because either this girl was doing nails for Beyoncé and Rihanna on the regular, or there was some other income stream we need to talk about. The rumors started circulating pretty quickly after that arrest. People in Birmingham began whispering that Mia wasn't just some innocent stylist who got caught up in bad situations. The word on the street was that she was what they call a set-up queen. Someone who lures targets into vulnerable positions so her crew can rob them. Now, I can't prove these rumors, and neither could anyone else. But when someone survives a shooting during a drug deal, gets arrested for drug trafficking, posts an enormous bail, and then ends up dead after being accused of setting people up, well, sometimes the streets know things before the rest of us catch up. And this is where it gets complicated, because we're talking about a young woman who might not have had the guidance she needed. Maybe she was just trying to survive. Maybe she got in over her head and didn't know how to get out. But we also can't ignore the pattern of choices that kept putting her in harm's way. So by late 2023, Mia's out on bond, back to posting on social media like nothing happened. And I get it. When you're young and you think you're invincible, you tend to act like yesterday's close calls were just bad luck, not warning shots. But the thing about small cities like Birmingham is that everybody knows everybody's business. And when word gets around that you might be the type of person who sets folks up to get robbed, well, that's not exactly the kind of reputation that keeps you safe at night. The streets were definitely talking. People were watching Mia's moves, and she had to know it. Yet here she was, still active on social media, still going live, still putting herself out there. Now either she was incredibly brave, incredibly naive, or she figured her reputation would protect her. Spoiler alert, it didn't. January 10th started like any other night for Mia. She was out, probably working, maybe hanging with friends. Around 1:30 a.m., she pulled up to her family's house on Greencrest Turn in the Crestwood area. Normal routine, nothing unusual. But instead of just going inside and calling it a night, Mia decided to hop on Facebook Live. Now, was this planned? Was she expecting drama? Or did someone specifically ask her to address something? We'll never know for sure. But what happened next would be the last conversation Mia ever had. According to people who witnessed this Facebook Live, the man who joined wasn't playing games, y'all. Word is he was heated. People say he was accusing Mia of setting up one of his friends, claiming she was orchestrating robberies, basically calling her out as a set-up queen in front of whoever was watching. And Mia? From what witnesses describe, she fired right back. She wasn't backing down, wasn't apologizing, wasn't trying to de-escalate. People say she was defending herself like her life depended on it, which looking back now, maybe it literally did. What's wild to me is that this argument was happening in real time, with people watching, probably screen recording, definitely talking about it in the comments. This wasn't some private beef that got out of hand. This was public, this was intentional, and this was loud enough that people are still talking about it months later. Now here's what's been eating at me about this whole situation. If you're on probation for drug trafficking, if you've already survived one shooting, if people are already whispering about your involvement in street activities, Why are you getting into heated arguments on Facebook Live at 1:30 in the morning? I'm not victim blaming, but baby girl, when you know you got enemies, maybe don't broadcast your location to the entire internet. Just a thought. When that Facebook Live ended, Mia was sitting in her car outside her family's house. Safe, you'd think. Home territory. But the streets don't care about safe spaces, and they definitely don't care about your mama's driveway. What happened in those next 30 minutes? Was she on the phone with someone? Was she texting? Was she just sitting there thinking about that argument? Maybe realizing she might have said too much? We'll never know, because Mia never got the chance to tell us. But someone was watching. Someone was planning. Someone was already on their way.
Also new now at 5, Birmingham police asking for your help to find whoever shot and killed this young woman, Mia Nixon, back in January. Investigators say her family is hurting and pushing for justice in her case.
By 1:45 a.m., neighbors were calling 911, reporting gunshots. When police arrived, they found Mia unresponsive in her driveway, just steps away from her front door. She'd been shot multiple times at close range. The killer, or killers, had vanished. No shell casings left behind, no obvious evidence, no witnesses who saw anything useful. It was clean, it was professional, and it was personal.
Police believe Mia Nixon was targeted, actually, and they say community help could be critical in them solving this case.
Now, that word targeted should tell you everything you need to know. This wasn't a random robbery gone wrong. This wasn't someone trying to steal her car. This was someone who specifically wanted Mia Nixon dead, and they weren't playing around. Within hours, Birmingham PD was making it clear. They needed the community's help. Officer Truman Fitzgerald was out there pleading with people to come forward, saying even the smallest tip could break the case wide open.
Nothing's too small. We know the streets are talking. We know Mia was extremely popular, but our detectives need that information. So anything you have, please call that into Crime Stoppers.
But here's the thing about street justice. People don't typically rush to help the police solve murders when they think the victim might have been involved in questionable activities. The code of silence is real, especially when the deceased has a reputation that makes folks think, well, maybe she had it coming. And that's exactly what started happening online. The comment sections on news articles about Mia's death became battlegrounds. Some people were mourning a young woman with dreams cut short. Others were posting things like, play with fire, get burned, and she knew what she was doing. Remember that man from the Facebook Live? Well, he wasn't done talking. The man who goes by Youngstar online hopped back online, adamantly defending himself, claiming he had nothing to do with Mia's murder.
I never said they was in no A, no none of that. I was just on live down here. If I did it, them phones gon' ping. I got 3 phones tell my direct location, where I was, where. Y'all know how the police play it. If I somebody, they'll want these phones on all that. Stop playing me, I ain't no rookie to this. Oh, did, boy. How the girl still outside 45 minutes late, gonna be still sitting outside for front of messages, see what the girl saying, ask me what they doing. Man, somebody called that girl outside. She got all that, put my name in it. Doing all that stuff, talking about a bando in about a project. But you know how far I was? You know where I stayed at last night? Every time I go to sleep, y'all playing. I'm trying to get, you feel me? Just chill, man. Stop bringing me up on live internet. If I did something, the police will have me in handcuffs. Came and got me for that mud shot y'all seen. For the receivers, throw the price. They came straight to my house, the gate seat, all that looking for. Them folks know if I did that, just like they know if anybody else did. Phone's gonna ping all that. Yeah. You think I'd be on live and if I, what, how the feel me? I'd be signing some shit. Oh God. Police come get you for anything else. Why they came and got me? Stop playing with me, man. About that petty boy. I'm talking about youngster. Keep saying my name. If I did it, the police would have came and got me. Don't they come get you for everything else? Can't they tell where you was any other time? Y'all know if somebody did. I would have deactivated all that. Talking about trying to put it on somebody else. I ain't trying to put it on you. To stop trying to put it on me.
Now, listening to Youngstar defend himself, he sounds genuine, right? He's asking logical questions. If I did this, wouldn't the police have already arrested me? Wouldn't they have checked my phone records, my location? It's a compelling defense. It's the kind of thing that makes you think, okay, maybe this guy really is innocent. Maybe he's just getting blamed because of that argument. But remember what I told you at the beginning about keeping that voice in your head? We're gonna need it in a minute. For months, Birmingham PD hit brick wall after brick wall. No arrests, no solid leads, no smoking gun evidence. The case was dangerously close to going cold, and you could feel the frustration from investigators every time they made public appeals. Meanwhile, social media became this toxic battlefield. People were picking sides. Team Mia versus Team She Had It Coming. Comment sections turned into war zones, with folks arguing about whether she was an innocent victim or someone who'd been playing dangerous games. And through it all, Youngstar kept popping up online, still defending himself, still asking those same logical questions about why police hadn't arrested him if he was really guilty.
I was arguing with the girl, you trying to throw it on somebody else. You the one was mad about both sis was in there. But I ain't said a fact. It's several facts. Which one of your homeboys she set up? Cause we already know that's you on them fake pages talking about what somebody set up. Y'all ain't set none of y'all sis up. Then, now I'm finna throw a real cross. Hey, Petey, do you know Youngster the Don said y'all did this, boy? Do you know Youngster the Don is going around Birmingham telling people y'all can't wait from Arkadelphia to Crestwood to do shit like that? Told you, bro, it's a pattern with them, bro. When them commit crimes, them go to throwing it on everybody else. It's them same group, and every time when them, it's rarely when they strike, but when they do strike, y'all don't see it. It's always somebody else did it. Ain't nobody did no like that doing that to no girls, man. Lil J gonna do it for. He talk to her all the time. He could have been done if he wanted to do it. He sit on the phone.
The online drama was getting messier by the day, with people going back and forth, and honestly, it was getting harder to figure out who was telling the truth. Now, buckle up, because what I'm about to tell you is going to make your skin crawl. Youngstar's defense actually made sense. If he did it, wouldn't police have tracked his phone? Wouldn't they have arrested him immediately? His logic was sound. But here's the thing about street murders, y'all. Sometimes the person arguing online isn't the one pulling the trigger. Sometimes it's arranged. Sometimes the victim has more enemies than anyone realizes. And sometimes the real killer is someone nobody was even looking at. February 2025. Birmingham police drop a bombshell that nobody saw coming. While Youngstar was online making logical arguments about his innocence, police had their sights on someone completely different, a 22-year-old named Damien McDaniel. And they didn't just charge him with Mia's murder. They charged him with 17 other murders. Y'all, we're talking about 18 total victims over the span of just 14 months. 18 people. 18? This wasn't just some guy who got into an argument that went too far. According to investigators, McDaniel had been on a killing spree since July 2023. We're talking about a firefighter shot at his own station, a UPS worker murdered on his way home from work, multiple mass shootings that left dozens of people dead or wounded. While Youngstar was asking logical questions about phone records and locations, the man police actually arrested, McDaniel, was allegedly responsible for 10.5% of all murders in Birmingham during 2024. 10% of an entire city's murder rate. Let that sink in. And while McDaniel was allegedly hunting people across Birmingham, Youngstar was on social media defending himself about Mia's murder, sounding reasonable, asking logical questions, making people think he was just another young man being wrongly accused. Two completely different people, one defending himself online, the other allegedly killing across the city. Here's what really gets to me about this whole situation. McDaniel wasn't just randomly killing people. These were targeted hits, calculated moves, professional executions. He allegedly murdered a couple on Valentine's Day, along with their unborn child. He's accused of being a killer for hire in some cases, as Birmingham police announced in February 2025. 22-year-old Damian McDaniel of Fairfield, Alabama has been charged with capital murder of a first responder and attempted murder of a second firefighter. 22 years old, y'all. The same age as some of his victims. And here's the kicker. He'd been released on parole in April 2023, just 3 months before his alleged killing spree started. He'd served only 2 years of a 15-year sentence for attempted murder. 2 years. So now we got to ask ourselves some uncomfortable questions. Was Mia really as innocent as her family wants us to believe? Probably not completely. Did she make choices that put her in dangerous situations? The evidence suggests yes. But did she deserve to die because of those choices? Hell no. Especially not at the hands of someone who was allegedly treating murder like a full-time job.
Gonna do the same thing to you, so why not do it to them? Why show them compassion when they ain't gonna show your folks no compassion?
This case isn't just about Mia Nixon. It's about recognizing the warning signs that could save lives. When a young person survives a shooting during a drug deal, gets arrested for trafficking, posts massive bail money, and then gets into public arguments with people making serious accusations, that's not bad luck. That's a pattern. Look, I'm not trying to speak ill of the dead. Mia was young. She might not have had the guidance she needed. She was probably just trying to survive in an environment that didn't give her many good options. But we can't help the young people in our lives if we keep pretending that dangerous choices don't lead to dangerous consequences. If you got a young person in your life who's hanging around during drug deals, getting arrested for serious charges, posting bail money they shouldn't have, getting into heated public arguments about street activities, continuing risky behavior after surviving violence, then we need to have some real conversations. Not judgment, not lectures, but honest talks about how quickly things can go from bad to worse to dead. Mia Nixon should have been opening her own salon right now. She should have been building the life she dreamed about, using those nail artistry skills to create something beautiful and lasting. Instead, she became a statistic in someone else's alleged murder spree. Her story isn't just about one young woman making questionable choices. It's about a system that failed her, a community that whispered instead of intervening, and a predator who was allegedly hunting while the rest of us were arguing about who was right and who was wrong. McDaniel is currently being held without bond, facing charges for 18 murders. His trial is set to begin in April 2026. He's pleaded not guilty to everything, but regardless of what happens in that courtroom, Mia's story stands as a reminder. The streets don't care about your age, your dreams, or your potential. They don't care about your mama's prayers or your second chances. When you step into that world, you're playing a game where the house always wins and the price of losing is everything. At the end of the day, this case taught us that social media arguments can be deadly, that the most convincing liars are often the most dangerous people, and that sometimes the warning signs are flashing right in front of us, but we choose not to see them. Mia's family deserves justice. Her dreams deserved a chance to become reality, and the young people watching this story deserve to understand that every choice has consequences, and some consequences can't be undone. If you have any information about this case or any of McDaniel's alleged crimes, Birmingham police are still asking for your help. Sometimes the smallest detail can make the biggest difference. Rest in peace, Mia Nixon. Your story won't be forgotten, and hopefully, it'll help save someone else's life.
I like to drink with TT because TT is my mate. I like to drink with TT because she gets it down in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I like to drink with Mia because Mia is my mate. I like to drink with Mia because she gets it down to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go back.